Few names echo through history with the same chilling resonance as Attila the Hun. A byword for destruction, his name conjures images of barbarian hordes sweeping across Europe, leaving a trail of fire and blood in their wake. To his enemies, he was the Scourge of God, a divine punishment for their sins. To his followers, he was a charismatic leader, a unifying force who instilled fear in the hearts of his enemies and loyalty in his warriors. Attila's reign of terror, though relatively short, left an indelible mark on the course of Western civilization. He reshaped the political landscape of Europe, hastened the fall of the already crumbling Western Roman Empire, and instilled a fear that would linger for generations. But who was this fearsome warlord? What drove him to conquer and destroy? This is the story of Attila the Hun, a man who, through sheer force of will and military prowess, became a legend. We will delve into the life and times of this enigmatic figure, exploring his rise to power, his military strategies, and his interactions with the mighty Roman Empire. We will separate fact from fiction, analyzing the historical context that shaped his reign and the lasting impact he had on the world. Join us as we journey back in time to unravel the mysteries surrounding Attila the Hun, the Scourge of God. To understand Attila, one must first understand the Huns, the nomadic people he led to such terrifying prominence. These fierce warriors were not just a random group of marauders, they were a well-organized and highly skilled confederation of tribes. Emerging from the steppes of Central Asia, the Huns were a formidable force renowned for their equestrian skills and mastery of archery. Their ability to ride and shoot with such precision made them a deadly adversary on the battlefield. Their very appearance struck fear into the hearts of their enemies. With their fierce expressions and battle-hardened demeanor, they were the embodiment of terror. Short and stocky, with weather-beaten faces and often scarred bodies, they were the embodiment of a life lived on horseback, hardened by the harsh realities of nomadic existence. Their physical appearance was a testament to their resilience and toughness. The Huns were not a monolithic entity, but rather a confederation of tribes, bound together by a shared language and a nomadic lifestyle. This unity allowed them to operate as a cohesive force, despite their diverse backgrounds. They were masters of mounted warfare, their lives intrinsically linked to their horses. The bond between a Hunnic warrior and his horse was unbreakable, forged through years of training and mutual dependence. From a young age, Hunnic boys learned to ride and shoot, becoming deadly archers who could unleash a storm of arrows from horseback with incredible accuracy. This early training ensured that every Hunnic warrior was a skilled horseman and archer. This equestrian prowess, coupled with their nomadic lifestyle, made them incredibly mobile and difficult to defeat in battle. Their ability to move quickly and strike without warning was a key element of their military strategy. They could cover vast distances with astonishing speed, appearing seemingly out of nowhere to raid and pillage before melting back into the steppes. This unpredictability made them a constant threat to settled civilizations. By the time Attila came to power, the Huns had already established a fearsome reputation in Europe. Their relentless raids and military prowess had made them a force to be reckoned with. They had clashed with the Goths, pushing them westward and setting in motion a chain of events that would ultimately contribute to the fall of the Western Roman Empire. These battles were not just skirmishes, but significant conflicts that reshaped the political landscape of Europe. The Huns were a force of nature, a nomadic storm that swept across the ancient world, leaving chaos and destruction in its wake. Their raids were swift and brutal, leaving a trail of devastation that was hard to recover from. It was into this world, a world defined by the might of the Huns and the looming shadow of the Roman Empire, that Attila was born. His birth marked the beginning of a new chapter in the history of the Huns, one that would see them reach the height of their power and influence. Details of Attila's early life are shrouded in mystery, lost to the mists of time and the scarcity of written records from the Hunnic perspective. The Huns, a nomadic people, left few traces of their own history. We know he was born sometime around 406 AD, inheriting a world already on the brink of chaos. The Roman Empire was crumbling and various tribes were vying for power. The Huns, under his uncle Rua's rule, were a powerful force, extracting tribute from a weakened Roman Empire. This tribute was a testament to the Huns' growing influence and strength. Attila's rise to power began in 434 AD, when he and his brother Bleda inherited the Hunnic throne upon Rua's death. The transition of power was swift and decisive. The brothers, young and ambitious, quickly consolidated their power and turned their attention towards expanding the Hunnic Empire. Their vision was clear: to dominate and expand their territory. They launched a series of devastating raids into the Eastern Roman Empire, their armies sweeping through the Balkans, plundering cities and leaving a trail of destruction in their wake. The devastation was unparalleled. The Roman Emperor Theodosius II, unable to defeat the Huns militarily, resorted to diplomacy. He agreed to a humiliating treaty, doubling the annual tribute paid to the Huns and ceding territory along the Danube River. This agreement marked a significant shift in power dynamics. This victory solidified Attila and Bleda's power, showcasing their military might and ruthlessness. Their reputation as fierce warriors was cemented. However, the brotherly alliance was not to last. In 445 AD, under mysterious circumstances, Bleda died. His death remains a topic of speculation and intrigue. Some accounts whisper of fratricide, painting Attila as a ruthless, power-hungry tyrant who eliminated his own brother to seize sole control of the Hunnic Empire. This act, if true, showcased his unyielding ambition. Whatever the truth, Attila emerged as the undisputed leader of the Huns, his ambition and thirst for conquest unmatched. He was now the sole architect of the Hunnic future. With Bleda gone, Attila stood alone at the helm of the Hunnic Empire, poised to unleash his full fury upon the world. His leadership would soon be tested on the grand stage of history. His name, whispered in hushed tones from the steppes of Asia to the heart of the Roman Empire, became synonymous with terror and destruction. The mere mention of Attila struck fear into the hearts of many. The Scourge of God had arrived. His legacy would be one of unparalleled conquest and devastation. To Section 4, the Hunnic war machine, terror on horseback. Attila's success as a conqueror stemmed not only from his ambition but also from the formidable military machine at his disposal. His army was a well-oiled machine, a testament to the Huns' ability to adapt and innovate in the art of war. The Hunnic army was a force unlike any other in the ancient world, a whirlwind of speed, skill, and sheer brutality. Their cavalry could cover vast distances quickly, striking fear into the hearts of their enemies before they even saw the Huns coming. Their tactics, honed over generations of nomadic warfare, revolved around their mastery of mounted archery. This skill allowed them to strike from a distance, raining death upon their foes while remaining out of reach. Imagine, if you will, a vast plain, the ground trembling beneath the hooves of thousands of horses. The sound alone would be enough to unsettle even the most seasoned soldiers. The Hunnic warriors, clad in furs and leather, their faces contorted in battle cries, thunder towards their enemies. Their appearance was as terrifying as their tactics, designed to intimidate and demoralize. They are a blur of motion, their horses seemingly extensions of their own bodies. This unity between rider and steed was a key element of their effectiveness in battle. Then the arrows come, a deadly hail of missiles raining down upon the enemy ranks. Each arrow was a potential death sentence, and the Huns could unleash them with devastating accuracy. The Huns were masters of psychological warfare. Their reputation alone often preceded them, causing fear and uncertainty among their adversaries. Their sudden appearances, their terrifying battle cries, and the sheer volume of arrows they could unleash created an atmosphere of panic and confusion among their enemies. This chaos was a crucial part of their strategy. Their tactics were designed to break the enemy's morale, to shatter their formations, and send them fleeing in terror. Once the enemy's lines were broken, the Huns would exploit the disarray to devastating effect. But the Huns were not simply barbarians who relied on brute force. They were also strategic thinkers capable of complex maneuvers and long-term planning. They were also skilled tacticians, adept at using feigned retreats to draw their enemies into ambushes and exploiting terrain to their advantage. These tactics required discipline and precise execution. They were masters of siege warfare, using battering rams, ladders, and even captured Roman siege engines to breach the defenses of fortified cities. Their ability to adapt and use enemy technology was a testament to their ingenuity. The Hunnic army was a reflection of Attila himself, disciplined, adaptable, and utterly ruthless. His leadership was the glue that held this formidable force together. It was this deadly combination of military skill and sheer terror that allowed Attila to carve out his empire and strike fear into the heart of the Roman world. His legacy as a fearsome conqueror endures to this day, a testament to the power of the Hunnic war machine. Section 5. The Battle of the Catalonian Plains, Clash of Civilizations. The year is 451 AD. The Western Roman Empire, already teetering on the brink of collapse, faces its greatest challenge yet. Attila the Hun and his vast army are on the move, their sights set on the heart of Gaul. The fate of Western civilization hangs in the balance. The Battle of the Catalonian Plains, fought near present-day Châlons-en-Champagne, France, was a clash of titans, a pivotal moment in history that pitted the might of the Hunnic Empire against a coalition of Roman and Visigothic forces led by the Roman general Aetius and the Visigothic king Theodoric I. The battle raged for hours, a brutal and chaotic affair. The Huns, true to their nature, launched a furious assault, their horsemen swarming across the battlefield like a tidal wave. The Roman and Visigothic forces, though outnumbered, fought with the desperation of men fighting for their very survival. The tide of battle ebbed and flowed, each side gaining and then losing ground. Theodoric I fell in the thick of the fighting, his death galvanizing the Visigoths to fight with even greater ferocity. Attila, sensing that victory was slipping from his grasp, ordered his troops to make a strategic withdrawal, seeking refuge within their fortified camp. The Battle of the Catalonian Plains was a Pyrrhic victory for the Romans and Visigoths. Though they had halted Attila's advance, they had suffered heavy losses, and the Hunnic army, though bloodied, remained a potent force. The Scourge of God had been checked, but not defeated.